Today what we're going to do is we're going to do a great, very user-friendly house brine. This brine is going to do anything from pheasant to chicken to duck to pork. It's going to help complement flavors and help tenderize your meat. I got a gallon of water here that we're going to bring up to boil. 2 cups of granulated sugar. I got a cup of kosher salt. Now if you've never worked with a brine before, this is going to seem like it's a lot of sugar and it's a lot of salt, but you got to think that you're not putting that much salt directly on the protein. You're not necessarily waiting for it to come up to a complete boil. You're just making sure that you don't feel any of those granules of sugar and salt. Cup of cider vinegar. I like vinegar, so hey, we'll add a touch more. 2 fresh limes. Oh no, excuse me, 3 fresh limes. These limes, these oranges just give really good bright flavors, but it doesn't mess up the options you have after you get cooking it. It'll complement any sauce that you like, or it tastes great by itself. Now we've got oranges. I leave my fruit in there so it absorbs, or the hot liquid will suck out all the flavors from the fruit. I've got a bundle of fresh thyme. I got a bundle of tarragon. And a bundle of basil. I'll just pull the stems off of the basil and put it right in there. Mix that up really well. Calls for about a tablespoon of crushed red pepper. Dried bay leaves, 3 of them. And then I got a cardamom seed. Cardamom seed is going to add really good flavor. All I do is right before I put it in, I squeeze it, crunch it up to open up the pods. Ice. Just enough to cool it off. Now use whatever container you like. I got a mixing bowl here. So I've got chicken drum legs, or chicken legs. Now all we got to do is add our brine. You want your fruit and your herbs and your aromatics in there. As that sits for 24 hours, that acid, that salt, or the acid from the citrus, the salt and the sugar is going to penetrate that meat, mess with the muscle proteins to break it up a little bit so it gives you a little more leeway when you're cooking, and also those flavors will penetrate the protein. So what you'll do is, you'll wrap this up, put this in your fridge, and brine it for at least 24 hours. Okay, now I got my pan hot. Oh yeah, that's the sound we want. That is the sound of flavor. The reason I brined a pork loin and showed you chicken legs is because I want you to see that you can use it on anything. I'm going to turn that heat down a little bit. I'm going to flip this over, show you the sear that we're going for, and then we're going to finish this particular item in the oven. All right, there we go. We got a nice hard sear on there. Going to give nice texture and flavor when we go to serve it to our friends and family. Now we're going to go in the oven with it. All right, now what we're going to do, now we've had our pork loin in the oven for about 15 minutes, we're going to pull it out and slice it up. Now what I did here was I pulled it out at about 135, which is a solid medium. If you like cooking it more, keep cooking, but keep in mind, when you brine anything or put a cure on anything, that chemical reaction is going to keep a nice little pink, or give it a pinkish color. So keep that in mind, but make sure you cook it the way you like. So here we are, pork loin with a very nice, what we're calling user-friendly brine.